to another video. Today is a 3-for-1 special in that I had 3 drawings that had been sitting in my finished artwork sketchbook that have not been finished in a long time, and I decided that I was going to finish them because just looking at them in that sketchbook was bothering me. Alrighty, so this very first one is a drawing of my OC Hope. You guys have seen him before. This is actually a drawing of him in his demon form. Don't take it too seriously though, because it's not the finalized version of his demon form. First and foremost, the skin is too dark. I know the skin is orange, obviously, because I colored it, but I want it to be a darker orange. I don't have very many orange colors, unfortunately, so I just had to work with what I had at the time. And this drawing is like, I don't even know how old it is. It's been sitting in my sketchbook for a long time. The drawing on the page previous to that is actually from last year. Last New Year's, because I do the same drawing for New Year's every year. You guys saw the one for this year. It was like the very first video I posted on this channel. So yeah, so this is older than 2023. So it's like 2023, sometime after January 2023. So yeah, it's a very old drawing. You just see me finish off the lines. For this one, I decided at the time that I was going to color it in first and then do the line art. I don't know why I did that, but I did. And so this one just needed to finish the line work and then add the highlights. And then while you guys see me doing the line art, you're going to see why I typically don't like to do line art on camera. Just because I feel like my line arting skills are really shitty, and so I can't really do them on camera. I sort of need to do them off camera where I can focus on them a little bit better. I feel like my lines did not come out very well here. But I also feel like partially that is because I'm not super used to drawing at such a large scale anymore, and that includes doing line art at such a large scale. I feel like I really do line art a lot from my wrist. I feel like I've been getting a little bit better at doing it from my arm though, but in my own time, not when I have to like put everything in the camera all at the same time. And so I really struggled with the line art for this. I feel like it was kind of shaky, and I feel like it was also sort of kind of like I had to go over it a couple of times, and also the pen was kind of skipping a bit. This looks like a high-tech C, but it's not. It's actually a Donga fine tip pen. It's like a Korean version of the high-tech C, I believe. I liked it, and I really like the color because high-tech C's do not come in this color. I like this color. It's kind of like a maroon, like a burgundy color. I think it's wine red. Specifically, the Donga pen is wine red, specifically the color. I really like it. Haven't really found any other pens that are sort of this small, the 0.3, and also that color. So I really like that pen. And then here you guys just see me going in with the white pen, the white ink. I'll tell you right now, the white ink is the MVP of this video, because every time I finish one of these drawings, I'm like, maybe it's not that good. Maybe I didn't do a good job. And then I add in the white highlights, and I'm like, everything's right in the world. White highlights is literally my favorite part of a drawing. So actually, every time I do the white highlights, I feel like it always comes out so much better. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of this drawing, and now we're moving on to the second one. So you guys actually saw me working on this drawing last week. It's just that drawing of my OC Valentine, but as like a fairy king, I guess. An evil fairy king. Listen, I already said last week, I don't know anything about fairies. I know that there is like the Seelie and the Unseelie court, and the Unseelie court is like the evil fairies. So let's just say he's like the king of the evil fairies or some bullshit. I don't know. I decided that I wanted to give him these sort of reddish pink eyes because I don't know. In my mind, I felt like he should have pink eyes. I felt like it would go that he had some sort of pink in his skin tone, a little bit of pink undertone, and also I felt like it would make him look a little bit unsettling. I was gonna put blood on his lip because the way I positioned his hand with his little claw, it's like kind of pointing at his lip, and I was gonna have his like claw digging into his lip a little bit and revealing blood. And I was like, I thought about doing it, and then I was like, I don't know if I really want to push the limits of what YouTube allows when it comes to like blood and drawings and stuff. I didn't really look up whether or not people draw blood on YouTube, because I really don't want to push my own luck, honestly and truly. I know I'm like a very small channel, but still I don't want to really push any boundaries. My Instagram is up on my channel, so if you ever want to see, I don't know, do I have blood and stuff on my Instagram? I have to remember. I don't think I do. It's been a long time since I've drawn any like blood and guts and stuff, so I don't think so. But yeah, I didn't want to like push it. So this is just me coloring in his eyes and then me going in with his hair. These are actually not the colors I picked out for his hair. I forgot that I was going to color in his hair, and so I actually put away all of my markers. Typically when I'm doing a drawing, I keep the markers out until I finish it. So either I finish it or I'm like, I'm not going to finish the drawing, and then I put the markers away. And I had every intention of finishing this marker coloring, but I still put the markers away because I wasn't paying attention and I was cleaning up my desk because I'm not really 100% a super clean person, but sometimes seeing the clutter on my desk makes me anxious, so I had to put them away, and then I forgot that I was still going to use those. So I had to pick 3 different browns that I was going to do for his skin tone, for his hair color. And I actually feel like they turned out pretty well. I think the darkest color I picked was a little bit too close in tone to the mid-tone that I picked. But I still feel like they blended really well together, so that was cool. That was good. So yeah, I feel like the hair turned out pretty good. At first, I was doing the hair very meticulously, and I think you can see that where I am very carefully placing down the colors and blending them back and forth. And then after a certain point, I'm just like, this is taking forever, bro. I don't want to do this anymore. Like I said, this is 3 drawings in one video, and just because the video is sped up doesn't mean this didn't take me a long time. I didn't have to put 3 drawings in this video. If I was smart, I would break these up into 3 different videos, but I didn't. The first video where I was just doing line art actually took me 14 minutes, and then this one took me about 30 minutes to color this, and then the second and the third one, you can see it took me about 19 minutes. So that's about an hour of footage, and I was getting bored. I feel like it would be really bad for me to say like it's not good to be like bored by your own art, but sometimes it does get boring. I mean, it's not because it's like I don't like doing it or I don't like the end result. It's just that it's kind of repetitive, the hair. Sometimes it's like, okay, put in the dark color, put in the mid-tone, blend it out with the light color, and then you do that over and over and over again, and it can get a little bit monotonous. And I think that's also partially why I stopped doing these large pieces, just because it takes a really long time to color them. If I was making them small like I like to do now, this would have taken me like 30 minutes tops, or like from like start to finish, you know, instead of it taking 30 minutes to do like the coloring of the whole thing. Like if you include the skin tone from last time, this entire drawing took me an hour. And I feel like when I draw them little, they don't take me that long. And that's a little bit more satisfying for me. You know, it's that instant gratification. Obviously, it's not instant because it still takes me a while. It still takes me 30 to 45 minutes. But I feel like from like sketch to like finished. And I feel like that's a lot faster than the 2 hours it takes me from sketch to finish for something giant like this, you know? And so, yeah, it's a little bit more satisfying. I like that instant gratification, you know? Sometimes I can't do a drawing for like 2-3 hours. I can't do it. I have a short attention span, which is, I feel like 2 to 3 hours is actually not a short attention span. But compared to people who spend 50 hours on a drawing, that is amazing. I could not be me. I am lazy and I cannot pay attention that long. Obviously, they're not drawing it all at once, but still, I would look at it and I'd be like, and after like a week of looking at it, I'd be like, this is so ugly, I'm gonna abandon it. So I don't know how they finish something after 100 hours. 100 hours on the artwork. Can you imagine the dedication? Oh my gosh, good for them. Good for them. Couldn't be me, but good for them. After I finished coloring in his hair, I went in and added the color for his little thorn crown. It's nothing special, nothing fancy. I used literally 2 colors on it. I used a warm gray number 8 and warm gray number 6, and I went with warm grays this time because literally the entire drawing is warm colors. The browns are warm, the reds are warm. If I would have used a cold gray, it would not have went well together, you know? So I used a warm gray, and then after that, I didn't really have a plan for what I wanted to do with his clothes. I knew I wanted to have like this little border edge. You can see I drew that on his when I drew it on his clothes, like his collar and on his sleeve. Well, actually, it's not on his sleeve, but it's on like his collar, and it's around like the part, what's it called? The opening of his shirt. There is like this little divide. I didn't really plan out what color. For a second, I was thinking gold, and then like black, because obviously the black because of the thorns, but I was thinking gold because to show that he was like a king or whatever, like imperial gold or whatever. But then I was like, there's no yellow at all in this. And there's no gold in this at all. And I feel like, sure, it probably would have made more sense, but I feel like it would not look good. I mean, it probably would have looked good, but in a design sense, I felt like it would be more cohesive. So I made it red. You can tell me whether or not that is right I mean, how you feel about it. You can tell me how you feel about it. I feel like I like the red. The gold would have looked nice. I do think the gold would have looked nice, but I didn't want to bring in a new color. I wanted to keep it simple. And also, I'm lazy. I didn't want to go over and get the yellows and the browns that you need to make gold. I was like, I'm not getting up to do that shit. I'm trying to finish these fast. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I add like the trimming in red, and then I color in the rest of his shirt in black. And it kind of looks like he's wearing like a traditional Chinese outfit. I didn't even think about that. I don't know what they're called for men, but yeah, I like the high neck. And when I was drawing it, I was kind of imagining it was sort of like a tunic type thing, and that was not intentional. I was just thought that, I don't know, it felt very like elf fairy type deal to like have a high neck thing with like trim on it. I don't know why. In my mind, I was just like, that's something that elves / fairies wear, right? I don't know where I got that image. I think I'm thinking of Lord of the Rings, but I'm like, who am I thinking of in Lord of the Rings? Because Legolas does not wear that shit. Legolas is like running around doing stuff, so he's just got like pants on and shit. So I don't know. I can't remember. I've only ever seen Lord of the Rings the one time through, so like I said, I don't care about fairies and elves. I don't know, you guys. So yeah, and then I colored it in, and then I added in the white highlights again, the best part, and I feel like it always brings out the best in those drawings. Okay, so we finished our little fairy guy. We're moving on to this drawing of my OC Kira, the mafia boss lady. This drawing is actually like a month old at this point. I don't remember exactly when I posted this, the first half of it, but I was sitting in my sketchbook for a really long time, and like I said, I'm getting sick of looking at it, and it was this limited color palette thing where I was just using pinks, and I was like, I don't remember what colors I used for this. Well, I do remember partially, just because they're all like, I only have so many of these like purpley sort of pinks, and so I was like, I know where those are. I'll just grab those and finish the drawing. And so mostly what I needed to do to finish her was to color in the one eye, which went by really fast, and just because it was easy. It was like 4 colors. And then I needed to color in her shirt. The shirt actually gave me some trouble though, because the color I decided that I wanted the shirt to be, that marker actually ran out of ink while I was doing it, and you guys are going to see that. And it was a pain in my ass. And I was like, oh fuck, what am I supposed to do? I don't have a refill for that color, unfortunately. And so I sort of had to pivot. I was like, okay. We'll just use the color that I was going to use for the shadow color, and we'll make that the entire color of the shirt, because only her, it's her left side is in shadow. I mean, it's the right from where we're looking at her, but her left side is in shadow. So I'm like, so the whole shirt should be just one color anyway, and then the half that's in shadow should have the darker color over top of it. And that's what I decided to do, instead of like, I don't know what I was doing. I added shadow to her right side, but it doesn't make any sense, because all of her left side is the part that's in shadow. So it probably is a good thing that my marker ended up dying, because otherwise it didn't make any sense what I was doing anyway. I was kind of getting lost in the sauce there. Typically when I'm adding shadows to something, I will typically put the flat color down first and then go over with the darker shadow. Unfortunately, this time I could not do that, because the color that I decided that I needed her shirt to be, because my other marker ran out of ink, it was actually darker than the shadow color that I had picked out for the rest of her drawing. And so what I had to do was I had to color in half of her shirt, the regular color, and then I had to put the shadow color underneath before putting over the color of her shirt. And I feel like I don't really know if it really works as showing it off as having a shadow. You guys can tell me. I feel like it doesn't really work. But yeah, that's just how it goes. So none of the drawings that I did today, well, the first one had a background, but these other two don't have backgrounds. I'm gonna add the backgrounds in my own time, so these are quote unquote finished, but I couldn't work on them anymore, you guys. So you just see me adding in the white highlights, and yeah, so that's the end of the video, you guys. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you enjoyed watching me finish off 3 whole drawings in this video. Don't expect that for tomorrow. See you in the next one. Bye.